Martin, everybody, welcome to Lock Pod.
Back in the studio.
Indiana's most dangerous podcast.
See, we're not back in. I interrupted you.
That's all right. I know.
Wow.
We're out of flow.
Yeah.
Hey, Linz, what's up?
Lindsay McDermott.
Rude as hell.
Carrasco.
Dude, she missed the last episode on purpose.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, I did have
she's
class.
like, devil's lettuce, I won't be there.
She did?
Excuse me. No, I support the cause. It's just my school's very strict about that sort of thing, and I didn't
Understood.
feel like being investigated
Understood.
this close to graduation.
Or
Understood.
tested. There was so much weed in that room, you would have probably sucked it in and you would have been positive.
Sucked it in.
Yeah, even if I did not
It
partake.
was a fog bank.
Plus, I'm trying to get
I've
a new
never heard
job,
that
and I
term.
will
Yeah.
get drug tested. So
What'd
We
you
were
say?
in a room about the size of this room.
No,
Lindsay.
half.
Okay, half the size
For
of this
sure.
room.
Yeah.
and you guys
And-
hotboxed the entire room.
Well, it was like 10 degrees outside. We couldn't go outside,
The weather was terrible.
which is part of the reason we were inside, which
Mhm.
led to a controversy we didn't anticipate.
Agreed.
Yeah, but like, we
420
were.
Fallout. That's the.
There was some fallout. There was some fallout after the season 9 premiere.
From each of us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree.
Oh.
There was some fallout. Lindsay would have had fallout, but she chose to skip that one.
She's the smart one of the group.
You know what? I like to think that I am the smart one,
you
she-
definitely
but
are.
it's usually Kevin.
Kevin.
Well, I mean, I don't know if you saw the photo. That was a classic photo from that day.
Oh, yeah. Let me pull that up.
Wasn't it great?
Oh,
that's
massive
great.
side
It couldn't.
eye.
That's like a total
Bombastic
summary
side
of.
eye.
So just if you can't see this, okay, so here's a photo from the Cantrell compound out in Michigan. And John's got his sunglasses on. He is grabbing a lit joint from Tom, who has his left hand on a bong. And
Oh shit! I didn't even notice.
and
that.
I'm
Look at
just sitting there like, these guys are something.
And you've got 2 massive containers full of weed, huh?
that. And Kevin was like, in his head, he was like, "We're off script."
Yeah.
yeah.
This
Well,
isn't on
is
the
not on the
script.
script.
Why
I
does
know, I
Tom
know
have
what
his-
Kevin. I know what Kevin's thinking
This
there.
has gone off the rails.
Fucking off the rails. This is
Double
not on the
fisting.
script. They're
that's
talking
such
about
a-
weed.
That is such a great
It
photo.
kind of looks like you're more reflecting on like how your life has
how
brought
did-
you to this point. That's what I see in you. Right
How
there.
am I in season 9 of this of this podcast? That was great.
You have to be honest though. You were thinking about the script right there, weren't you?
Probably. You might be right. I think you
how
might be
Kevin-
right.
I know how Kevin clicks, man. I know how
Kevin
Kevin.
is trying to figure out how to get back on
How
track.
do I get it back on here?
Kevin's
instead of-
looking at the script like none of this shit is written down. Like, what the hell is going on with this show?
I had no idea there's going to be a bong here.
What's my mom gonna say?
What's your,
Oh,
And
God.
what did she say?
so there was
okay,
fallout.
yeah, there was a little fallout. So like, so obviously the the newspaper covered this and it was great. They had a headline
Above the fold, thank
above
you.
the fold. It was
Mayor
like,
inhaled.
Mayor inhales on 420 day or
Yeah,
something like that.
Yeah, that was a good line.
And it was
it would have been
good
better if
headline.
there was a picture of me. But
well,
whatever.
A5 was this photo actually.
I know.
Right?
I would like an A1 above the fold next time. Next
Really?
420.
Like use with a big joint or something.
Next 420, I would like the local media to put that above the fold,
God.
not below the fold, not on A5.
So I
okay?
get actually, I just want to. It's just
You're gonna
so
read it
classic. I gotta
verbatim?
read it. Yeah. I get a. So the paper comes out, and of course, my folks, they're older in their 80s, and I shouldn't say that my mom's not 80 yet, but she gets the newspaper, and of course,
Oh,
they read it
no.
early, and so I get.
I love your mom.
Yeah, she's.
She loves me deep down.
Of course she loves you.
Right.
She sends me this text at like 7 in the morning.
Uh-oh.
I can't believe you're in the picture with Tom and John in today's paper. Please be careful. I don't want something like that to hurt you.
Oh.
I said, don't worry, Mom. Didn't you see the look on my face?
Or you could say,
Don't worry,
Mom,
Mom,
I'm
I'm an
53.
Exactly, right?
I'm
And-
53.
And she says, yes, but you were still there. I said, we're in Michigan.
It was Michigan. We weren't breaking
I
the law.
I know. And then I texted that to Matt, and he was just laughing. He's like, thank God I'm 2,000 miles away.
Dude, your
She
mom
doesn't know what I'm
listen
up to.
Yeah, she doesn't listen to Lockpod. Like Matt was on here, said he smoked. And I'm the devil. I'm the devil
yeah, that's a
properly
good
influencing
point.
Kevin.
I can't
Right?
believe you're in that photo.
Right. And Matt's in here talking about like doing
Yeah.
edibles and shit.
Yeah.
And I'm the bad
Swimming with
guy.
Well,
sharks.
this is the story of my life. Matt
I know.
gets skated
I-
by.
I like
I get the
being-
pounding.
I like being the bad influence in your life.
Yeah, well, if Matt was here, he would be, but you've taken that place.
I'll cover for Matt when he's in the West Coast.
Do you think your parents have ever smoked weed, Kevin?
No way.
No way.
I don't,
He said no
that
way.
that
No
generation. I don't
way.
think that generation.
My dad never did.
Yeah, that generation, John. I think is probably just very.
My mom, though?
non-smoking. Not
That
all,
was the
but
generation that was alive during like the 60s, 1969 summer of
Yeah,
love.
but there was
Well,
a
they were-
significant part of population that was uptight, Lindsay.
I mean,
My dad was
what
one
year
of them.
were you born, Kevin?
69. So that's what I'm saying. My
Yeah.
parents were already like raising a family,
Well,
doing
they've already settled down by that
Got
point.
my
Yeah.
first real six string.
There you go.
Oh, at the 5 and dime.
I love that song though.
Played it till my fingers bled.
Ew.
Come
It
on.
was the
Where's the
summer of
tagline?
69. Yeah.
I love that song. Good song.
Yeah. My mom. And
Your mom was kind of a hippie, right?
She's a total
Yeah,
stoner.
Absolutely.
Oh, Grandma,
She doesn't
Grandma
smoke,
Sue
though. Is she listening?
Cool as hell.
Of course.
yeah,
she
Grandma
is.
Sue is
she
an
is.
edible
Of course
stoner.
she's listening.
Grandma Sue, my friends and I lovingly refer to her as Party Grandma.
Oh, nice. That's a good name. I did not refer to her that way when I was a kid.
Oh no, she's
When
Party
I was a
Grandma.
kid, it
Every
was-
time she comes into town and we go to the Festival of the Lakes, they're like, "Wow, your grandma's cool as heck," and she's Party Grandma.
Yeah. Yeah.
May I just say, like, Lindsay, you sound a lot better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, post-surgery
Yes.
Lens.
Yeah.
Hello.
Oh my
Whoa.
gosh, that's
Do you
fantastic.
feel better?
I do. I can breathe now.
How was the surgery? How's the recovery?
It was fine. Just lots of nosebleeds randomly.
Wow.
Really?
You do
Yeah.
sound
I still get a little
so
bit of
good.
nosebleeds because it's dry and
sounds
I'm not
good.
used to.
Yeah.
Could you plug your nose real quick and speak?
Hello, guys.
Nope. Oh, is that? Do it again.
That's me.
Yeah.
plugging my
That's
nose.
the
Yeah.
We gotta do
That's
it like
season
a-
8 Lindsay right
We
there.
got to do a voice comparison of like.
Yes. Yes.
Season 8 Lindsay
you know
sounded
what?
like,
You're-
like this.
Your surgeon can just play that for patients.
Honestly,
And
he's
say, like,
welcome
here's,
to it.
here's what
He's
she
very
sounded
good.
like before in
Yeah,
season 8.
exactly.
Yeah.
Here's what she sounded
Here's one
like.
of our
in season
celebrity
Pretty cool.
patients.
Yes.
Yes.
I'm not a
Notorious
celebrity.
LMP. So was there any fallout for you, John?
For my surgery?
Little so far.
No.
Did you
No?
suffer-
No,
Just
from
your
the surgery.
Didn't you get something from your brother?
Yeah,
Yeah.
like 3 minutes into the show. I think it was during the intro song still. Paul's like, I don't understand how this helps Tom, politically.
Well, dude, by the way, you know what's funny about that? So we're in the room, and John started, because it's not a real show. We're used to the real show when the music's playing, we're on TV, right? So, like, that's the studio. When we're on location like we're out of rhythm. It's not the studio. So
Right.
John starts playing the music just to get us into the mood. And
Right.
so we were laughing a little bit like, oh, the song is playing, but we're on location, so we're not thinking, and we're smoking, and we're talking and laughing. And then John's like, oh, I've been taping you guys for like 5 minutes. We're like, what? Like, we've been totally just jacking around here.
By the way, John, great production, and kudos to your purchase of the remote stuff. That stuff worked great.
that was pretty cool,
It was
right?
really cool.
Yeah.
It was seamless. And by the way, I mean, I don't know about you, Tom, but I walked into Border Works on 420 day, which is like 9 a.m., and everyone was like, "What are you doing here?
Yeah.
Why don't you
Really?
smell, you don't smell
that
like
was my,
weed? You
that
don't
was my fallout.
on 420,
When I got to
right?
work that day, everybody thought I was high.
Yeah,
We shot it on Monday.
Monday night.
Right. So like after work.
Yeah,
we
after
shot
work.
it. We drove after work to Michigan on Monday. And 420 day, it was on Thursday. I didn't realize, and by the way, in the video, we're like, happy 420 day. We were
True.
playing it off like it was live that morning, but it was not live. That was all shot Monday, and John mixed it on Thursday.
Yeah, so good job, good production job. And
You
by
fooled the
way,
whole region, John. Like
want-
seriously, like when I got to work, everybody thought I was high,
Same
and
with
I'm
me.
like, dude, I'm
No,
straight. Like I'm straight. Like it's freaking 8
hilarious.
in the morning, and I'm like rolling into work, and everybody thought I was gonna have my Notre Dame jersey on and all that. And it was like, no, that was Monday. Yeah.
I also wanted to thank Glacier. Andrew Serino was a great guest.
By the
great
way,
interview.
that was widely. Yeah, a lot of people told me how awesome they found that interview. I thought it was great too.
And Andrew and a friend of ours, Tom, who's an investor in that in Glacier,
Tom
invited
Kuhn.
us up for a tour of Glacier. So we're going to try to do that. soon.
Nice.
Check it out. Check out
Hey,
the
John.
operation.
Yeah.
And then before we transition to the next topic in the first episode, which is a good topic by the way, could you play? I thought it was appropriate to play Paul McCartney, a quote from Paul McCartney, right after he was arrested in 1984 for marijuana possession. This is how he felt about it. This is in 1984 in Barbados.
Hey, but let's get one thing straight. Can we get one thing straight? That whatever you think and whatever you think I've done, this, I'm telling you, this substance, cannabis, is a whole lot less harmful than rum punch, whiskey, nicotine, and glue, all of which are perfectly legal.
What about your children? What about your children?
Oh, do the next part.
Keep it going.
Yeah.
I would like to see it decriminalized, because I don't think in the privacy of my own room I was doing anyone any harm whatsoever.
Okay.
Couple things. One,
a
I
Beatle.
love the fact that he's chewing. The way he's chewing that gum is great.
He was being cocky.
Yeah, I
He was-
love it.
C'est fair.
Oh, so cocky.
Because they asked him earlier, they said, we didn't play the whole video. They said, are you going to stop doing this now that you were caught? And he goes, yes, I'm going to stop. and then he turns to the reporter and he's chewing his gum and he like winked at him. It was funny.
I think also like a couple things that are interesting, right? That's 40 years ago almost, and it's similar to what Dr. Mike has said before about like alcohol is much more harmful.
Yeah.
Smoking cigarettes much more harmful. And I think just also the other thing about he mentions decriminalization 40 years ago.
Yeah. And we're still talking about it.
Yeah.
In Indiana, we're still talking about it.
In Indiana, it's still a crime.
You know what's funny, Tom? I think we have a similar TikTok algorithm because I saw that over the weekend.
Oh, did you?
Well, I sent it to my dad, obviously a big Beatles fan, and I just said, and you say that Liam Gallagher is cocky. I mean, Paul McCartney was really cocky. In that video.
Totally, John. He was totally cocky. I loved it. Actually, I've never seen that side of Paul McCartney because I wasn't into the Beatles in 1984 as much as I am now, obviously. I listened to him. I grew up with the Beatles in the background. I was a little kid, but I never really saw that side of Paul McCartney until that video, and I liked it. I liked it a lot, actually.
Well, that's our sum up of 420 Day. Congratulations.
I have important news I want to share with the audience, with America.
We're going to go to the Tom Cam here.
Right to America.
All right, here we go.
You ready?
I can't see the time.
I was kicked off of Twitter, and I think it's permanent. I think I've been permanently banned from Twitter.
I hope not. We're working on that.
I've been off for about a month now, and I don't think I'm getting back on, meaning I'm trying to get back on. They won't let me back on.
I reached out to Matt. He said it happened to a couple of his friends, and it was a monumental task to get them back. But
it's been over a month.
Yeah.
And like the thing is, you would think that if you're kicked off of Twitter, because I don't know if I was hacked, I don't know if I was knocked off. The only thing I said wrong in close proximity was about Biden's former chief of staff, by the way, which is interesting.
Did you get an email?
I'm not accusing. I got an email
saying
I was hacked.
Okay.
I didn't think I was hacked. There was nothing posted.
Right.
And then it sent me an email on Thursday. This is about a month ago. It said, you were hacked. You got to respond quickly with this code. I didn't see it for like a day.
Yeah, I mean, you've got
I get 100 emails a day, right? And then I usually filter through my emails. And I look for the important ones. I pull them out. No offense, Twitter, but when I get an email from Twitter,
it could be anything. It could be an alert.
It could be anything. It could be somebody commented, somebody liked something.
Exactly.
No offense, I didn't exactly it wasn't top of my inbox, right? And then like a day or two later, after I got that email, I didn't realize I received it. I tried to log on to Twitter and make some snarky post. It was going to catch fire across America, and I was like, why did I get logged out? So then Twitter, I hadn't been logged out of Twitter probably in 5 years. So I don't know. I have a series of passwords I use. Okay. And if it's not this password, it's this one. If it's not this one, it's probably this one. If it's not this one, it's this one. And then if it's after the fourth one, I'm like, holy shit. Like, what password did I use here, right? So I start going in to do my normal password routine, and I went through all 4 of them. And I'm like, okay, none of these are working. Did I type it in wrong? So I tried it again. And then by the time I got done just trying to log back in, they sent me an email that said, we don't believe this is you.
Oh, like too many password attempts. And
we don't believe this is you. Wow. Like, go away. Like, don't ever contact us again. And I'm like, what? I got 11,000 followers. I don't want, and like I've done 6-7 years on Twitter. I used to have a blue check mark, but freaking prick took it away. Yeah, since I've been gone, right?
This is bad for Elon Musk. This is bad. If a mayor, I mean, I'm just saying, this is just
an asshole,
one person.
What a jagoff. The guy, he bought Twitter with the intent to ruin it.
I'm fine. I'm a Twitter fan. I like Twitter, but I'm worried about it. I am significantly concerned about Twitter.
He's there to ruin it.
Well, he's doing a good job.
He's literally, he's pissing off everybody. Like all these news organizations, like you could open an account and say you're the Wall Street Journal right now.
Yeah, that happened. I think to Chicago or something. They did something where fake.
They
accounts,
said that the Lakeshore Drive was going to be shut down for 4 days or something like that. And like that's good for business. Twitter. So, like, you would think that when you get banned off of Twitter, like, not banned, I don't want to use that. Logged out
knocked
permanently, knocked off, and not allowed to come back on, you would think, okay, I'm just going to call a human being.
Sure.
And explain the situation to him, right? Well, too bad Elon Musk fired every fucking human that worked for Twitter. You can't get through. You're in an email robot loop. So, like, I would get, like, the same emails. I went through, like, 4 iterations. I kept getting the same emails. Finally, I was like, listen, I have multiple verified accounts, not just my account. I have McDermott for Indiana verified
which is
account.
Go McDermott.
Right. And then I also have City of Hammond verified account.
Go Hammond.
Right. So I'm like, okay, why don't we have the verified accounts go at Twitter to say you locked off the mayor and we're all affiliated with the mayor. You took off the main account that we're all affiliated with. Can you please let him back on? Nothing.
Yeah. So I think what we're searching for maybe someone out there knows in podcast land, like a Twitter whisperer, a Twitter savior, a Twitter
like
consultant.
Elon Musk's best friend.
Yeah. Hey,
We'll
Elon.
pay you a couple grand.
Yeah,
Get me
like,
back
we
on.
need to get the mayor
I'll
back
pay for
on.
the stupid $8 a month too, Elon. You freaking prick.
So
put me back on.
That's going to help, Tom.
Fuck him, man.
That's gonna help
He's
get
there
you
to
back
ruin
on.
Twitter, John. He's there to ruin Twitter.
Why would he spend $44 billion on
Because
it?
he has billions more, and like who knows, he could be getting paid to ruin. This is my a person that's very special to me. She may be an elected official, she may not be. I'm just going to throw it out there, okay?
Okay.
She's convinced. This very very smart woman is convinced he's paid by the Saudis to ruin Twitter.
What?
Whoa.
What?
Conspiracy theory.
Explain different. Explain
No,
different.
I want to explain. I want to
don't
hear
What's he
understand
why.
doing?
why
What's
the
he doing to
Saudis?
help?
Why?
What's
Why
he
the-
doing?
why the
I don't know.
Saudis?
This is just. This is a well-read person. I'm going to let you imagine who this is.
I
Maybe
wanna
you could
know
ask this
more.
well-read person, but tell me what he's doing that's helping Twitter at all.
The Twitter files were astounding.
What do you mean?
The Twitter
The
files?
the
You
Twitter
like them?
files, which mainstream media didn't report on at all.
Oh, and
were
they
the most
Did
incredible
Tucker
news.
Carlson?
No, they we're going to get into that.
Oh, okay, we have a lot to talk about, man. Maybe we shouldn't get hung up on Twitter.
Well, all I can
So
say
long.
is if anybody's got anything to do with how to get Tom back on, we need to know. We're searching, and we're trying to get him back. Because I think it's important, by the way. It's your voice, and you have 12,000 people following you.
Yeah.
You know how many snarky responses I've had in the last month that I
Many
haven't been
great
able to put
ones.
up? I feel like my right arm was cut off.
We need to get
And
you
I'm
back
like,
on
I
Twitter.
can't. I'm typing with my left arm now, and I'm on TikTok way too much, which is communist. We all know. Like I'm on
That's right.
TikTok. Like
Chinese-
communist China is
Chinese
like
servers.
they're like all up in my business right now. I'm trying to get back on American Twitter, but Elon Musk locked me out. This is a dilemma.
So now what do you
Elon.
have? Facebook?
I'm on
which
stupid
no one's
Facebook.
Oh,
on.
my God. No one's on it.
But like it's cool. Zuckerberg
Except
could get
us.
all my info, right? But
Yeah.
Elon Musk and Chinese communists and
But all kidding aside, we do have to.
We
have
gotta
to
get
figure
you
this
back
out.
on.
There's got to be a consultant out there.
There has to
that
be.
can help with this.
There has to be.
I've
Elon Musk's
I've
best
tapped out
friend.
on my consultants.
Who is Elon Musk's best friend?
He has no friends.
No.
Who
Himself.
likes Elon?
He likes himself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, I'm off Twitter. I mean, I'm
Knocked
banned.
off currently.
Banned. They don't believe I'm me,
We're
which
going
is
to
a
get you
problem.
back.
What
we
was your
have
last
to get
post?
you back.
Lockpot.
It was like okay.
Oh, at least
A
it was a
lockpot?
good last. If that was your
Right.
last tweet,
Little did I know. I did it right here.
Do you guys ever like make a post or tweet and think to yourself like, if this is the last one, like
No.
if something happened,
Did I know?
wouldn't matter.
okay,
This is
Yeah.
my
It
last
it wouldn't
tweet.
matter. You wouldn't know.
Yeah, you wouldn't.
Yeah.
By the way, I lost a real good friend over the last few days. Dennis Hardesty.
Yeah, a friend of all of ours.
He was one of my original supporters. He was a boxing guy. He was his entire career in the boxing ring. Basically.
Famous, by the way. Indiana Boxing Hall of Fame.
Like George Foreman, met Mike Tyson, worked with them. Local boxers that Carlos Tite, who was fighting on ESPN, Jack
Also-
Callahan, who was fighting on ESPN.
Very influential in like female boxing when early on. Like took. I remember he took. I can't remember the
Amy
woman's
Yar-
name.
Yeah.
Exactly. Amy to Finland and all these title fights. And so just a great all around guy. He served on your Port Authority.
Love him,
So-
miss him.
I had no idea.
You didn't know Dennis passed? I'm sorry.
No.
Yeah, he passed a few days
Sucks.
ago. His funeral is tonight, actually. So
Okay.
yeah,
Let's do some ads and come back. Stick around.
he was a fan
because-
of Lockpod too, by the way. He
Absolutely.
appeared on Lockpod as a
Yeah,
guest.
he
oh,
was
he
on
did.
there.
Yeah,
We had a
him-
boxing.
Yeah, him and Jack Callahan
that's
appeared
right.
on Lockpod together.
R.I.P. Dennis.
So put Dennis Hardesty in his family in your thoughts. A Lockpod fan, a friend of the mayor's, a friend of the administration, a friend of everybody, Kevin, John, Lindsay. So think about him and
And his famous sign-off line, champ.
yep,
Yeah.
in your corner, Dennis.
There you go. In your corner.
Yeah.
Yes, that's it. Good call.
All right.
Listen, we're gonna do some ads. Come back, and we've got a great guest coming on after 8:00. Mayor Clint Lamb from Sullivan. Mayor Clint is not running for re-election this year. We're going to talk about that. But we're also going to talk about the devastating tornado that hit Sullivan, Indiana, at the end of March. So,
And the reason Clint is going to be such a great guest is a lot of people compare our styles. Clint's a Southern Indiana mayor. He's a 3-4 term mayor,
three-term, I think.
three-term
Yeah,
mayor.
maybe
He's
in his fourth.
very outspoken, very moderate. He is a successful Democrat in a heavily Republican area. So Clint's going to be a great guest. So that's going to be after the second set of ads he'll be on. And it's Mayor Week, by the way. We have another mayor coming on Friday's show, another repeat guest, Bill Carroll, who's running
Lake
for
Station's
re-election.
mayor.
Lake Station Mayor will be our guest on Friday. So we got a couple good mayors this week. So
Can you
let's go
tell
ahead.
him to bring his dog?
I'll work on that. Or you can reach out to him.
Hell yeah.
Let's go ahead and do some ads, and then let's get Lindsay in her beautiful new voice to do Rogers Roofing to welcome us back to season 9.
Hello. All right, Rogers Roofing. When you want the best for your home and family, trust the best in the business. Rogers Roofing. Rogers Roofing has transformed homes in Northwest Indiana and Chicagoland for more than 54 years, providing quality roofing, siding, gutters, and windows, all backed by the best warranties in the industry. To learn more, to schedule your free consultation, visit rogersroofing.com or call 219-933-9145 today. That's rogersroofing.com at 219-933-9145. And remember, at Rogers Roofing, excellence is expected every time.
Damn, Lindsay,
I
you
know.
sound great. Holy
Phenomenal.
crap.
I enjoyed every second of that.
That is brought to you by the offices of Dr. Kakodkar through Community.
Car.
You could go back to your former
phenomenal.
career now that you had your, which is
on stage.
a phone sex worker. Yeah. Yeah.
What?
That was weird.
That is not true. By
That's
the way.
I love that's great when your dad calls you a phone.
Yeah.
That was a long time ago in college. You
It was
know,
back when they had 900 numbers.
yeah, back the 900 numbers. The internet took all that
Back
away.
in the
so-
day when I had a landline,
I could call a phone sex worker.
Yeah, 900. They don't have those anymore.
they've
do
got
they?
OnlyFans
that I
now,
know of.
Dad.
Did you have you ever heard of that, Lindsay? I mean,
when you would fall asleep with the TV on and wake up
Yeah.
at 3 a.m.
Yeah.
and you'd be like, "Why are there?"
you're saying
ladies
you
on the
in general,
TV?
not you directed at me, right? Because I didn't ever fall asleep and listen to that shit. So.
Uh-huh.
No, she just meant the commercials.
Right, when you
Yeah, the
like general,
commercials.
not you is then directed at me.
Correct,
That's what
correct.
making that clear.
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
that's
Go
right.
ahead.
I don't want
be
Marissa to think I'm
insecure.
falling asleep looking at those commercials.
Sure.
All right. Kuklak La. That's how you pronounce it, right?
Yeah.
Kuklak La.
Kuklakas.
Kuklak La. Are you facing legal challenges that you don't know where to turn? Who can you call? Kuklak La. See,
Wow.
I just
You
made
just-
this up.
Jingle.
I just made this up. Like, why isn't Steve thinking like this, right? Because you
Well,
start
there's
out,
a lot of reasons.
are you facing legal challenges and you don't know where to turn? Who you going to call? Kuklakas.
Wow.
Yeah, all right. Look no further than Kuklakas Law. Your
I've known
trusted
you 20
le-
years. You've never come up with a Smith Sursic jingle.
I'll work on it. Your trusted source for legal advice in Indiana and in Illinois. Do you need representation buying or selling real estate? Who you going to call? Kuklakas. Do you need help forming your
great.
business? Who you going to call? Kuklakas. Did you get injured in a car crash or at your job? Who you going to call? Kuklakas. No matter what your legal issue is, who you going to call? Kuklakas Law at 219-671-6347. Hablamos Español.
Who says you're not fun when you're not smoking?
That's right. I know. I should be straight more often.
Are you straight right now?
It's freaking 7:45. 7:45.
Hey, yeah. 2
And we're
hours.
in Indiana, by the way.
2 hours ago, Biden announced he's running for president.
Hey, listen. Old guys get up early. Okay,
Yeah.
He was like
I was up
probably
at 5:30.
Yeah, he was probably up at like 4:30. Like, let's get this thing rolling. I got lunch in 3 hours.
Oh,
Misprint Printing. Misprint specializes in delivering the highest quality science and printing on time and under budget. Misprint's experience in technology allows them to offer custom, commercial, on-demand printing and sign solutions. Rick and metal business cards and all your political ads and all your, they've been busy.
Who are you going to call?
Misprint Printing.
Pocket.
That's right.
Rick Baltonsberger and his team have served Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana for over 30 years. They have 2 convenient locations to serve you in Munster and in Hammond.
I'm sorry, babe.
Babe. Oh, that's me.
Yeah.
That's you.
Prestmer Insurance Company. The Ron J. Prestmer Insurance Agency has been located for decades right on Indianapolis Boulevard, serving all of your insurance needs. They specialize in a wide variety of insurance products and services, including auto, home, business, life, and much more. The Prestmer Agency serves over 1,000 people and businesses in the Chicagoland and the Midwest. Call Ron, Ronnie, or Michael at 219-844-0103. Once again, that is Ron, Ronnie, or Michael at 219-844-0103. I have a really funny story about them, actually. So I do the whole insurance thing for like the campaign and all that. I've been emailing Ron. I thought I was talking to Ron Sr. this whole
Ronnie.
time and
Ronnie's-
having really
Ronnie-
good conversations with him. And I was like, Ron's pretty cool. And I'd go up to him
He's
at like
very young. Very
at
young
functions, and I'd be like, hey, and like mention something we talked about, and he'd be like, I don't remember what you were talking about. And then I went to drop a check off, and it turns out I've been talking to his son this whole time.
To Ronnie.
Yeah.
That's it. It's
pretty cool.
All
He's a
good
nice guy.
guys. All good guys
All
over
of them
there.
are nice.
Thank you to our sponsors.
No, we got one more. Tortillas Nuevo Leon. is the gold standard in Mexican cuisine throughout the Midwest. This is like mass when they sing the verses, right?
Oh,
Look for tortillas Nuevo Leon's, popular red and white label at your local grocery store. Yeehaw! Enjoy quality Mexican products made with local expertise.
the chant that you learn in seminary. In the seminary.
Tortillas Nuevo León, hechas con amor, para ti, tu familia de todo corazón. Tortillas Nuevo León, hechas con amor, para ti, tu familia, de todo corazón.
Thank you to our sponsors.
All right.
I wish we had like a crying or like a sad audio, John, for you on this next story.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Is
Not
this
bad.
Tucker Carlson? story?
Yes.
Tucker Carlson got fired yesterday.
Well, or parted ways.
They
I
parted ways
read.
effective immediately.
Well, like I don't know. I don't think anybody really knows the exact reason. At this
No,
point,
it hasn't
right?
been. John, any
Right.
theories? I want to hear from the conservative side.
To me, it seems like a Dominion-related fallout.
I agree with you.
I
Yeah.
think they like there
His
was
text messages.
They're
after,
purging a lot of people
Yeah.
right now.
Well, dude, they spent America, Lockpot audience. Fox News paid $787 million, the largest settlement ever in defamation case in American legal history.
to get out of going to trial.
Because if they go to trial, all this damaging stuff that they had to pay $787 million to cover up was going to be public.
And you might as well call it like 850 or 8 something, right, with attorney fees of what they had to pay their lawyers during the case.
Oh, yeah. Gotcha.
And just
Yeah.
add that on, right?
God, can you
So
imagine being a lawyer on that case?
probably that's all you did for 2 years. I would imagine that's everything you've done for 2 years.
Okay, so if you're
probably 50 lawyers, that's
So-
all they did for 2 years.
So the attorney fee is going to be a couple $100 million.
I would say in the tens of millions for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, tens
No,
of
I mean,
millions.
if $787 million settlement, if you're doing normal.
No, I'm
contingent
just
fee.
saying if you're billing.
Right.
You're billing.
But what I'm
probably tens
saying
of
is
millions.
each of those lawyers is going to walk out of this case with, let's say, $5 million each.
Well, I don't know what Dominions. I'm talking about from the Fox side. Like whatever Fox
I'm
had to
talking
pay
about
their-
Dominion side.
Well, I don't know if it was contingent or not.
I know,
You
but
know,
like-
it might have been a mix, might have been nothing.
Man.
But
Well, they look pretty damn happy when they walked out of the courtroom.
Well,
They look like I just hit the jackpot happy to me.
yeah, that, and I think they're very pleased that they reached a settlement because like Fox had to admit some of the things that the judge and the court had found during the case regarding the allegations, and that was a big deal. And John, I'm wondering, do you really believe that the stuff that Tucker may have said or did or whatever that came out during the case resulted in him and the Murdochs like
I don't know.
going
Did you guys
sideways?
hear the same thing that Murdoch is the one who personally was like, he's
Yeah,
gone.
I heard that.
He was what?
He's gone. Like Murdoch himself, like made that call.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, see, it seems to be like from what I read and was trying to catch up on this, it seems completely unexpected. Like I
Yeah,
even read
right.
an interesting comment from like even I heard like in Trumposphere they were surprised. I read something by Don Jr. who said who I believe is a close friend of Carlson's from what we can tell on TV, described the network's decision as mind-blowing. I think it changes things permanently, Don Jr. said on the Charlie Kirk Show, adding that Mr. Carlson was an actual thought leader in conservatism and a once-in-a-generation type talent. John, I know you're a fan. Where is he going? Or is he just going to be like Trump's running mate?
He's worth like a couple $100 million.
Oh, yeah. He can take some time off in Montana.
Like the rest of his career.
I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility that there's a Trump Tucker ticket.
Whoa.
Can you imagine that ticket?
Really?
I
Yeah.
mean,
Wow.
hated by many, loved by many.
Wow.
Loved
Yeah.
by some.
That would be strong. I mean, strong. I'm not saying that would be strong ticket. Like I love it. That would be strong because obviously Trump is widely recognized and obviously Tucker is widely recognized.
Yeah.
That would be a very widely recognized ticket.
It would.
Wow.
And it would, but it's just totally polarizing, right? If you're a Trumper, you're in. If you're not, you're out.
True.
Big time. So,
Here's my concern is, say what you will about Tucker. The guy had 3 million viewers, highest rated cable show, not even close second. My concern is now that he's gone, if you guys can disagree with what he said, you can say it was even extreme, but there will be no other real main opposing viewpoint now across the board. No, seriously. Fox now is, in my opinion now, probably pretty indistinguishable from other news channels.
well, I think the Dominion suit helped probably mute some of the, if you agree with the suit, lies that they were spreading. I mean,
What do you
there's
mean? like lies.
Yeah.
Don't even like qualify.
Well, I'm just saying that
they
that
lied.
In their minds, they were saying like, well, we got to be a little more careful now because we don't want to. And by the way, there's another lawsuit pending from a smart.
Yeah,
Could be
yeah, a bigger one
potentially
too.
larger. Yeah.
No,
potentially larger.
So what was it? Something semantic or
Billions.
something like that?
Yeah, smart
tech.
something like
Yeah,
that.
something like that. Yeah, and that's an even bigger, more threatening suit than Dominion was to Fox News.
Yeah, and the other thing about Tucker, John, I mean, like, is like him or hate him, I did not really think that his journalism on, like, when he released that like the videos of January 6th where he was like cutting it, just that really turned me off because
the
I'm like,
J6 committee cut him deceptively too.
well,
I mean, if anything, he showed more.
I don't think so. I
Okay.
think it just in my opinion seemed like he maybe. I mean, I guess right. It's footage, right? So I guess maybe it was the commentary with the footage, maybe. But I guess everybody's welcome to comment on it. But I would agree with you that a big voice is now off the air. And I saw Trump gave an interview on Newsmax. Whoa, last night.
And you
That's
got
probably
the-
where Tucker's going. by the way.
No,
God,
dude,
I
you
hope
got
not.
the
No
owner
way.
of Newsmax donating to the Clinton Foundation. I mean, listen, to all my swath of fans out there, there is no reason to watch any legacy media channel anymore. News media channel. It's
don't
over.
really watch
Just
the news.
stop.
Region
You know
news
what
Get it
source
all
only.
on. Just get it from
What was that,
alternative
Linz?
sources.
Region news source only.
By the way, why
Of
don't you reach
course,
out to Paul
of
and line
course.
him up as a guest, Linz?
NPR.
Could you do that?
That's not
We
my
tried to
job.
Okay.
That's
like
Steve's
Steve gets
job.
paid.
yeah, right. We need to get Paul on here as a guest. We tried to do it at the end of last season. We couldn't pull it off.
Always good to have him on.
Oh no,
See
yeah.
what's on a region
Right.
news source.
But do me a
know-
favor, everybody that listens to Fox News. I had this conversation with my dad the other day. I call him up and I'm like, and I hear some TV on loud in the background.
Was this
like-
before Tucker?
This is before
the
Tucker,
fun-
and my
okay.
dad loves Tucker, by the way. Okay,
Yeah.
so I call him up, and he's all like worked up, and I'm like, "What's the matter, Dad?" It's like 9:00 at night, 8:30, right? And he's all like, "This country, Tom, it's just so freaking screwed up. Like, there's no going back from this point." And I'm like, "Are you watching Fox News?" He goes, "Yeah." I'm like, "Turn that shit off, Dad." I'm like, "God damn, it's 9:00 at night. What the hell is the matter with you? You're 75
It's
years
like
old,
I'm constantly probably.
dude,
All morning,
I'm
all
like,
day.
Dad, it depresses the shit out of you. Why do you watch this stuff, right? And I go, "Have you watched the Cub game yet this year?" And this is before they dropped the series against the Dodgers, right? And he goes, "No, I haven't watched one game." I'm like, "What the hell is the matter with you,
You're
Dad?"
listening to Fox News.
They're
and
good
not
this
watching
year.
The Cubs.
The freaking Cubs are. My dad loves the Cubs. He hasn't watched one stupid game, and he sits there and watches Fox News and gets depressed and talks about the end of the goddamn world.
Well,
it's like, turn this shit off.
the other thing
Fox
I heard-
News is horrible for your health.
and people just watch it all day, every day.
They do.
And I, by the way, I just read something that that terrible shooting in I think it was in Kansas City where a young African American kid goes up to
Yeah.
the wrong door, gets
Yeah.
shot by an 84-year-old
Horrible.
guy.
Horrible.
I read an article where his grandson was saying, every time I'd go over there, it was just Fox News on loud, like always
come
on loud.
on. What the hell?
I'm not. No,
Why
I'm not
even-
blaming Fox
I
News
know,
for the
I am.
shooting.
I am, John.
I'm just
Come
saying,
on.
John. I think
Fox
I think
News pulled the
people-
trigger.
I'm not blaming Fox News for the shooting.
Tucker
All I'm saying
Carlson.
is that if all you do all day is listen to news, I don't care if
You
it's
get
John,
scared.
CNN, MSNBC,
Scared.
whatever,
It's
anything.
Thank
Choose
you.
it. Choose it. If
Thank
you
you.
got to go watch the Cubs game. Get out of your house.
Watch the damn Cubs.
Right, like
Go
just
talk to
turn
people,
off the
touch some
news.
grass.
The Cubs are great.
I don't care
Put them
what
on in
you're-
the background, just like you do with freaking Fox.
Yes.
It's like programming your mind. Your mind is absorbing hate.
Or do this. Do some research for yourself. Go listen to other news sources. Like look at other things. Read. Go on. Read the newspaper. Do
You know
it.
what my news source is? Everything.
Yeah, I
read,
agree.
I read news. Like, I don't care what it is. I just absorb it. I read a lot of Fox, I'll be honest.
Mm-hmm.
I read Wall Street Journal. I read the New York Times. I read the Washington Post. I read all the local stuff, Indy Star. Like, I absorb news.
I love to listen
I don't
to NPR,
watch
but-
one thing and just leave it on and believe every word that comes out of their mouth. It's naive.
Well, I think it's also it does yourself a disservice. Like you have we all have our own independent minds. Do some look into things. So let's do some ads.
books.
Mayor Clint is waiting, hopefully on Skype from I think a new city
Is he
hall
there,
in
John?
Sullivan. And
I'm going to call him during ads.
All
We'll
right.
hope for the best.
We're gonna
So,
do ads
it's gonna
and,
be good.
come
it's gonna
back.
be good.
At my facility, we only have like
At your facility.
well,
What does
the
that
one
mean?
that I work at.
Yeah.
We only have like 30 channels, and a lot of our elderly patients do just watch Fox News all day.
Turn it
every
up.
day.
You know what?
I was watching.
Flip the channel.
When I was taking care of one of my patients, we were watching a documentary that Tucker Carlson produced about how California is trying to make us eat bugs.
Time to turn the Cubs game on all those
Yeah.
TVs, Lynn.
Do that,
pretty
Lindsay.
Let's get some
fascinating.
Cubs game.
Be
Look-
bipartisan. Turn on the White Sox.
I'm gonna put on ESPN.
Just get that shit off. It's probably killing these people. They're in the hospital
White
watching
Sox?
this shit. No, they're watching. The White Sox would kill me
I
too.
think like my dementia patients are
Right?
probably watching this. Like
They're like, what is there to live for? I'm going to be eating bugs in a couple weeks anyway, right?
my nurse is
Turn
trying to
that
feed
shit
me
off.
bugs.
So, all right.
All right.
Calumet
Off to
Brewing.
ads, and then we got Mayor Clint.
Coming up, Mayor Clint from Sullivan, Mayor Clint Lamb, the 3-term mayor from Sullivan. He's doing a great job over there. He's a great guest, so please hang out. You're going to love this next guest. By the way, he's been on the show twice before on the porch.
Yeah, on the porch, but this is the first time on Skype. We'll see
Right.
how it works. John, do you have the golf ad?
I do.
Oh, awesome.
Do you want to read
Okay.
that now?
He's reading it right now.
Okay.
What's that? I'm
Check
reading
this
what?
out.
Yes, Cal Brewing.
Okay. Calumet Brewing.
Boom.
Whether you're
Wow.
on the golf course or spending the day in the sun, Michelob Ultra with only 95 calories, 2.6 carbs, and a 4.2 ABV is the perfect beer for a summer day. Michelob Ultra brews a light lager that's worth every sip. So no matter if you're kicking back after a long workout, a pickup game at the park, or a day on the fairways, you're sure to enjoy this great light beer. Don't just drink it, enjoy it. Head over to Cal Brew on Facebook to find the golf bag post for your chance to win through May 12th. You can also head over to the Michelob Ultra website and social media pages for details on this great family of beers. Enjoy the Ultra lifestyle with beers and cheers responsibly.
And there's the ad right there. And I have a theory on this. I have a theory that a Lockpod viewer has to win this, or we might be in trouble with Cal Brew.
Really?
So all Lockpod viewers, go to Cal Brew on Facebook and make sure you enter
I see what
to
you're
win the
saying.
golf bag. Otherwise, they're going to be like,
Nobody listens.
no one listens.
All
Please.
you have to
Our
do
ads,
is like
you
the
need to-
post and tag 3 friends.
That's
yeah,
right.
come on, Facebook.
And I see
do
one
us
of
a
our
favor.
viewers right at top, Carol McCormick.
Yeah,
Thank
look
you,
at
Carol
that.
McCormick. We love you, Carol
She tagged
McCormick.
all
Get
of our
she
kids.
tag.
Do me a
Our
favor.
kids.
Go to the top of that again, John, so
Yep.
I can see it. Cal Brew, CALBREW Facebook post.
It was the
What?
420 post.
It's on April 20th. Funny enough, okay? And it's got a big golf bag. Blow it up, Lockpod audience, okay? Blow
Yes.
that up. So we're
Yes.
going to be watching you guys.
There's
Thank you.
14 likes on it now.
Because,
and
you
I
know,
wanna
Cal
see
Brew's
more.
probably analyzing their
Of course they
expenses,
are.
and they're like, Lockpod? What the fuck is
What are we
Lockpod?
getting out of this?
Right? Like, who the
gotta make
hell?
it worth
Lockpod?
it.
We
I'm
got to
gonna
blow
drop
this shit up.
I'm going
right?
to drop this link in the chat.
There
Thank
you
you.
go.
All right.
Thank you.
All
All
right.
right. The Bug Guy Pest Control. Warmer temperatures mean unwanted guests such as ants, spiders, wasps, mosquitoes, and more. Shut down their party before it gets started. A comprehensive pest plan from the Bug Guy will help you enjoy the great outdoors as well as the indoors all summer long. To solve your pest problems or start a preventative plan, call the Bug Guy today and tell the pest he's on the way. Call Brian at 219-810-7481. That's 219-810-7481. The Bug Guy.
The bug guy.
Bug Guy.
California's trying to make you eat bugs. Okay. Powering America. Looking for a new career.
He's trying to
At the
make you-
facility.
That's
I
what
like
the
that.
documentary was about.
All right,
That's
man.
I think
true.
that's the
Crazy.
title of the show. Lindsay doesn't get them very often.
No.
California's trying to make you eat bugs, starring Mayor Clint Lamb from Sullivan.
All right, Powering America. Looking for a new career in 2023? Earn a competitive wage while you gain valuable hands-on experience as an electrician. Did we mention employer-paid benefits, including health insurance, pension, and an annuity? If so, visit act697.org.
That's JACT.
Oh, JACT. Jacked.
Jacked. That's good.
JACT697.org. Jack697.org. Sponsored by Powering America.
Byway Brewing. Byway Brewing is a family-friendly microbrewery with a spacious tap room and an outside patio. Our brewing equipment offers a unique backdrop for your private events like weddings, reunions, or corporate parties. Byway is conveniently located just off of 8094 at the Kennedy Avenue South exit. Come on by and enjoy Byway's award-winning beers and unbeatable menu. For more information, check out bywaybrewing.beer.
Cantrell and Cantrell, attorneys at law. Are you injured or in trouble with the law? Give them a call and schedule your consultation today with somebody who's in court and at the jail every day. Call John Cantrell at 219-554-4LAW. That's 219-554-4LAW. Or visit their website at bettercallcantrell.com. John and his wife, Kristen, make a great team and are waiting to hear from you.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm very proud to introduce a friend of mine, a great mayor from Southern Indiana, a longtime friend, Mayor Clint Lamb from Sullivan, Indiana. How you doing, Mr. Mayor?
Look at him.
Greetings.
Right
Good morning, gentlemen.
Awesome.
And you know, I heard you talking here earlier. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, we can hear you fine.
Okay, everything's good. I only get my news from one source. Lockpod.
Yeah,
That's it.
that's all you need, man.
That's it. Nothing else.
So how we doing? You
Thanks for
hear us
having me
okay?
on the show, fellas.
You got it, Mayor. I was wondering, could you tell us just kind of where you are and the backdrop? Because it looks really cool where you're at.
I'm sitting here at 110 North Main Street in the beautiful city of Sullivan, Indiana. at the new City Hall. It was actually a kind of a retrofit from the 1950s. It was an REMC, Wind Energy, Rural Electric, an old building that also worked as after that it was the School Corporation building for several years, and the Sullivan Daily Times that came up in tax sale a couple of years ago. We needed to upgrade as the city continues to expand the staff. We needed to spread out, so we're able to retrofit this old facility. So here we are. So I'm sitting here in the mayor's office. If you were ever in the old mayor's office, I was in a block, right? No natural light, depression. It was like they just shoved me in the back corner. And I said, by golly, when we go to the new City Hall, we're going to have some natural light. Because the sun's always shining in Sullivan, folks.
That's good.
So here we are, natural light. Across the street from the Presbyterian Church, actually, is a nice little backdrop here for you. So
I bet you if you had that great office, you may have rethought your decision not to run for another term again, right, Mayor? I mean, you were in that old depressing office. Now you got this beautiful office. Are you reconsidering your decision not to run again?
As you know, Mayor, and you feel the same, it's not about us, and it's not about a facility, right? So the next mayor is going to have a wonderful place to conduct business. If I decided to run again for an office, then I shouldn't probably be in office for a physical office. So.
Right.
But no, it's a great facility. The Sullivan City Police Department has a new facility. We're working on a brand new fire station. Of course, you know, we revitalized the Sullivan City Pool last year. We tore down the old elementary school, created the Sullivan Civic Center. So as you know, Mayor, it's a heck of a lot more than brick and mortar projects. It's about the spirit of the community, and that continues to increase. So that's what we're most excited about.
Mayor, it's Kevin, and it's good to see you. Obviously, had a question for you. How hard of a decision was it for you to not run? I mean, you have been the face of Sullivan for the better part of 12, 15 years, and you've been such a good friend to the Democratic Party, to Mayor Tom when he's run, and I know you and Mayor have always talked about being mayor, and it's to me it's my when I think of Clint Lamb, I think of Sullivan. I think of you as mayor. So how hard of a decision was it for you to actually step down?
Yeah, well, as Mayor Tom could probably understand, being mayor is not your job. Being mayor is who you are, right? I tell everybody I announced my candidacy in 1986 for the 2011 election.
Holy crap!
I was in kindergarten. I was in kindergarten, right, when I decided I wanted to run.
I was in 11th grade.
My great-grandfather was a Republican mayor of Sullivan in 1948 to 1952. So, my family's just always had a kind of a love for community, not really political, but to answer your question, how hard was the decision? It was excruciating, not just tough, excruciating. Hardest decision of my lifetime. A lot of thought, a lot of prayer, not on a whim, years of thinking about it and going back and forth. But like I've told folks here in the community that seem to be somewhat disappointed or whatever. Now there's a few cheering, right? Like, yeah. But for the most part, the disappointment. I said, look, whether I'm the mayor or not, I'm always going to be an advocate, and the city of Sullivan has always been near and dear to me since I was just a little guy, and it's going to be that way. So I will continue to advocate for the greater good, no matter what my title and no matter what my role is, and I'll be Sullivan proud forever.
Mayor, so obviously that's a major decision. I mean, so you ran for a third term, and then you did that 4-year term. How far into the third term did you know that was probably going to be your decision, or was it just recently you made the decision, or did you know like a couple of years ago?
It was a game time decision. I mean, you were always kicking it back and forth, and full disclosure, I love being the mayor. It's the greatest job in the absolute world. I love it because you can be that advocate. You can be that cheerleader. I think every time it comes around re-election time, you always consider, but your first term, you're like, absolutely, I'm running for re-election. Second term, you're like, yeah, probably. Third term, you're like, yeah, we'll see. Each time it kind of gets a little different. So I can't say it just happened overnight. It was kind of a gradual thought process. But honestly, a lot of folks are like, well, we didn't even know until February 3rd, right? The day to go file. I mean, it was that final week I was going back and forth and talking with Jamie and talking with the kids. And, my gosh, it was just over Thanksgiving, over Christmas is when it really started setting in. And then it was probably one of the most difficult talks I ever had on February 3rd, our press conference that day, just being raw, being real. And, You know, for years I used to kind of chuckle when a politician would stand up and say, well, I'm putting my family first. I was thinking, oh yeah, okay, what's up? Something's up their sleeve, you know, what? I get it now, right? No, I get it, because, you know, when I ran for mayor and got elected in 2011, Kennedy was 10, Dawson was 8, Hadley Rose had just been born. And since then I picked up Nevaeh and Jocelyn, 2 more daughters. So it's like, you know, I'm just at a different point in my life. I'm not old by any means, but I'm 43 years old. And I just started thinking about what really matters. And my goal was to show my kids in their formative years that it's so much more than yourself, right? It's so much more, you know, just going out and trying to get a paycheck and making the big money. It's really about others, loving your brother as you love yourself. And the sense of community was just so important. And I thought it was so important to instill that in them. They've seen that. And it's just kind of like, you know, I want to do something. My son's in Florida at St. Augustine at Flagler College. I want to be able to get down and have some of that flexibility. So just a lot of factors went into it.
You know, Mayor, one of the things when March 31st happened, and we're going to talk about that now for a little bit, you know, a devastating tornado hit Sullivan. And I thought to myself, thank goodness Sullivan's got Mayor Clint at this time, because when I saw that video that morning, and we're going to throw it up there and some other stuff, I just couldn't believe it. I happened to be down in Bloomington visiting my boys that night, and it was a real scary sky, and I thought something had to be going on. And when you see this video of your city, Mayor, it's amazing, and we're showing it now. John's going to show it, but tell us a little bit about that night and the ensuing morning, because I know there was a lot of loss of property and actually loss of life as well.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, speaking of this third term, we came into this third term with COVID. And then halfway through the term, or early in the term, we had a major fire in our downtown area. And we're going to go out this term, obviously, with the tornado disaster. So to say, I always see the glass half full, but at the same time, there are some somber moments. And March 31st was definitely probably the most somber, and just kind of the craziest, chaotic time. But I guarantee these last 3.5 weeks, I'll have memories that have forever changed me. I will never be the same in some good ways, maybe some bad ways. But March 31st, matter of fact, guys, I was up in your neck of the woods the day before. The 4 oldest kids got to go on spring break this year, but the baby, she didn't get to go, Hadley Rose. So I said, you know what? Let's just do Dad and Ad Day. And we drove to Wrigley Field for opening day in Chicago. So we came up. We were going to swing by Hammond, but we had to get up there. And then she got sick on Friday of March 31st. The next day, she wasn't feeling good at Wrigley. We came back from Chicago the next day, and I had to take her to the clinic in Terre Haute. So it was a rough day. Like, we'd been at the game. It was cold. We were tired. She was running 101 temperature. We were coming back, stopped in Terre Haute at the quick care clinic, came home that night. She's in bed, not feeling well. And, you know, you always see the tornado watches and the severe weather warnings and this, but there's an old myth here in Sullivan County that you will never, ever suffer major tornado damage because of the Marin Bluff on the edge, because we're right here on the Wabash River coming over from Illinois. So there's a big bluff, and they always said the tornado winds would hit, bounce back. They would go to the north or go to the south. So I think everybody kind of took it with a grain of salt. They saw the weather, they saw the sky turning. It was weird and odd, but then the phone started going off with a warning, with a sound like I'd never heard before. We all hear the amber alerts and the silver alerts and these things, but it was a weird screech. I mean, it was like, you know, we were actually in bed watching Creed. We were getting ready to go watch Creed 3 that weekend. So we thought, well, we'll catch up and do Creed 1 and 2. Of course, power goes out, everything goes off, phones are going off. And then I pick up to check on my daughters, and there's no cell phone coverage. And of course, we're in a day where we really don't have landlines anymore. So your power's off, you have no cell phone. And Jamie's like, you know, we need to head to the basement. So I go in Hadley's room. She's the only daughter home. Hey, honey, we got to go to the basement. Dad, what are you talking about? I'm sick, you know? And I said, no, we got to go. So I pick her up, kind of help her. We go downstairs, and it's just like, you know, we have one of those, it's not a finished basement. Our house was built in 1914. So we're kind of sitting down there and this musty, you know, basement. But your mind just starts racing, and your heartbeat starts thumping, because you're like, okay, where's Kennedy? Where's Nevaeh? Nevaeh was, I think, in Paris, Illinois, on our way back over to Farmersburg. Jocelyn's on her way home from Florida on spring break. So your immediate mode is, oh my gosh. And then you start hearing things beat on the house. And And it's just, then you get your city radio out, because like, well, I'll listen to dispatch and you hear traffic. So I'm trying to text the fire chief, the police chief, like, I hear there's some power lines down. What's going on? And I'm not getting much of a response because you don't get any cell phone. My daughters are trying to call me and I pick up the phone. They can't hear me and I can't hear them. And then finally you just hear all you've always heard about, like, it's a train whistle. And it just come through, just like storming through. The train came through and the house was shaking a little bit. The windows were rattling. And I was just like, what in the world is going on here? But, fortunately for me and my family, it caused very little damage, at our house, just some typical storm damage. Of course, I'm in the basement. And then your first thought is, I got to go. I got to get out of this house. I got to go check on people. I got to find out what's going on. And your wife's like, Clint, you can't leave us. I said, hon, I think the storm is settled, but I have got to get out here and see what's going on.
I know what you mean,
can't
Mayor.
get a hold of anybody. So, I run upstairs, get out of my Batman pajama pants and T-shirt, and I throw on my clothes and work boots, and I jump in the car, and I just head up towards City Hall, head towards the EMA office. And by this time, there's just public safety just everywhere.
Yeah, I mean, Mayor Tom,
I probably saw 200, 300 police cars, fire trucks that night from Vigo County, Knox County, Sullivan County, city police, Linton, you name it. There was about a 7-8 county area that the cavalry just rode in and
so Mayor, so like with the aftermath, everything. So how many houses? How many? Was there? Obviously, there was unfortunately loss of life and all that. What was the summation of that?
Yeah, and that's obviously the I talk about what I went through, but I can only imagine what the families went through that lost. We lost 3 individuals here in the community, and of course, a tight knit community like ours, everybody knows everybody. Matter of fact, one of the deceased, actually, is kind of a distant relative of mine, and her sister actually works over in the clerk treasurer's office. So it literally impacted City Hall, and they not only lost their homes, all the family lived in an area together. They all lost their homes, and they lost their sibling and nephew. So, I mean, it's just being able to wrap that around your head during the midst of this chaos. And then there was another gentleman, Shane, lived out east of the city, and who had just put a new home in not too long ago. And then, now his wife's going through some rehabilitation and things. So, of course, I knew that family. So, it's not like I've told the governor and the White House both, I said, it's not like statistics on a spreadsheet, right? You know these people. It's not like you see the news. But there was about 200 structures in the county. About 150 of those structures were inside the city limits.
Jeez,
Mayor Tom, you were in Sullivan last summer, and you were at our city pool. So the city pool suffered some damage, but it's everything south of the pool is gone.
what's funny, Mayor?
That was basically...
I was looking at a video,
that?
I said, I was looking at a video earlier that they were showing, and I said, that looked like a neighborhood right by the pool where I was, I swear. It looked like
exactly.
It suffered heavy damage, right?
Yeah, and the crazy part about it is it's total devastation, and the house next door still has their rocking chair on the front porch.
Jeez,
I mean, it's not like you see these things of hurricanes where the whole communities are it is a very clear-cut path of destruction, and for whatever reason, nobody in the city limits passed, and they were protected. And this is a housing stock of 1920s, 1930s, 1940s. Stories of an 84-year-old friend of mine. She was found in her closet hiding. Stories of families coming to me, telling me all these things one-on-one, because, you're not just the mayor. You're trying to take care of the logistics, but you kind of become the hugger in chief, so to speak. And you're talking to these people, and they're literally melting in your arms. They're raw emotion, and it was tough to go through, but I'm humbled and proud that I was there to be their friend, right? And to listen to those stories and be able to take some of that burden off of them, because these lives have been literally ripped apart and upside down. And to be able to have these conversations about 3 people praying under their table. And I remember the lady said, I was so terrified, but I just told the Lord, she says, I'm ready to go if this is it. And I'm telling you, everybody I talked to thought this was it. Like, I think there's going to be some long-term emotional impact of guilt or doubt of why they didn't succumb to this, because I'm telling you, it was mass destruction. People crawling out from their basements telling me about it, sitting here, where the house came in and they had to crawl out, and then they were afraid there was a gas leak. So it's like you're stuck in your basement, you've survived the tornado, but who shut off the utilities? Have they got there yet? So you have all of these things coming together. It was just like I said, some of the stories and the conversations I've had, it'll set with me forever. But Kevin, I appreciate your kind remarks that you're glad that I was the mayor, and I am too. I don't regret it. People are like, boy, I bet you wish you'd have got out of this. No, absolutely not. I'm so glad I'm here, and I'm going to continue to advocate, and I'm going to continue to be a shoulder to cry on after December 31st. I can guarantee you that.
Mayor, real quick, what's the? I know that you had sent, and Mayor Tom posted on his Facebook and probably on his Twitter before he got kicked off,
yeah.
but. There's a Wabash Valley Community Foundation that's helping Sullivan recover. John's going to put the link in our feed, and I know that is the place that you recommended if anybody would like to help Sullivan out, that they can donate to the Wabash Valley Community Foundation to help Sullivan recover.
Yeah, thank you very much. I appreciate you mentioning that because the quick response, Mayor Tom and basically I'd say 90% of the mayors in Indiana were immediately reaching out to me. They were checking in. What do you need? People in their community, AIM, Accelerate Indiana Municipalities, our Indiana Conference of Mayors. It was so, the silver lining, so to speak, was the overwhelming amount of support from all the mayors and all the cities around. And, the cavalry came in, they really did. Mayor Duke Bennett, special shout out to him and Terre Haute. He sent an entire week's worth of crew, dump trucks, front loaders, probably a 20, 30-man crew, right, for an entire week just cleaning up. We have a lot of local 841 operators and Boilermakers and a lot of just our organized labor, they came in and really helped. So, once again, if there is a silver lining, the fact that this is a community of faith, it's a community of family and friends, and people just really came together. And so that took care of a lot of our initial needs. The Sullivan County Lions Club has kind of taken over as far as supplies and things like that. But the financial contributions is so important because this is long-term recovery. It's not like a tornado hits and you get the utilities back and the next morning everything's back to normal. This is going to be long-term needs. And the best way to explain it, the federal government has done an amazing job. The White House responded quickly. They're going to do this. I got to give huge kudos to Governor Holcomb. The state came in, set up right away. Lieutenant Governor Crouch, our federal officials. So state government's coming and doing these things. The region is doing things locally. They're doing things, but there's no cookie cutter way to overcome a natural disaster. And not every family is going to have the same needs, right? So that's where the Community Foundation comes in, that there's going to be so many unmet needs. So whether it's through the Community Foundation, Red Cross, and I'll tell you, and I'll finish with this, you talk about unbelievable. This Sunday, I went through and I'm going to they're out of Chicago. I think their office is, a Suchi, they're out of Taiwan, and it's a Buddhist sushi, and they came in to Sullivan City Hall and set up a response where care packets and debit cards, direct relief for people in my community. Awesome. So I'm telling you, you talk about political ideology, religious theology, it didn't matter. And it happened right here in rural America. There's the silver lining. There's the story to tell. We are so condescending about how we're dysfunctional and the federal government can't get out of its way and the state's but with this. And I mean, I'm sitting here with county commissioners who I guarantee our ideology is totally different and we haven't agreed. And we're all sitting together and we're all working for the greater good. So regardless of what MSNBC, CNN, or Fox News tells you, right? You guys, I think, discussed a little bit of that earlier. This is real life. Mm-hmm. And government is functioning for the people, but there's going to be some things left out where Christians, Buddhists, it doesn't matter their theology are coming together or what region you're in. Folks from I had so many mayors from the Northwest region, call and ready to go. Dick Hickman up in Angola, like 4.5 hours, 5 hours away. He's like, you ready for me to send trucks? And I'm like, Mayor, I appreciate it, but hold off. I think we got it handled. So, obviously I could talk for hours on this. It's something that has changed me forever. And I'll end with this on this topic. I always told you guys how special Sullivan was, and now the rest of the world sees it. So it's international love now, man.
Awesome, man.
People are seeing it everywhere. It's amazing.
Obviously you did a great job with the recovery, rallying your community. You were recently featured by another guest of Lock Pod, Adam Wren, who writes in Portonville. He did a nice spread on you, talking to you about, your response with the tornado and talking about your political future. Obviously with you not running again, Adam left it out there that, are you interested in running statewide? Are we going to be hearing more from Clint Lamb and the Democratic Party?
That same announcement in 1986 and maybe even high school, senior year, you always thought about those things. I can honestly say, you never say never to anything, but as of right now, I have absolutely, my focus generally truly is on my family and continuing to support Sullivan, and Sullivan will always be first and foremost in my heart. Whatever capacity that the good Lord leads me to in whatever way for greater good, whether that's public, whether that's private, we'll always continue to advocate for the greater good here. So, it's one of those things you never say never, but right now, definitely not on the radar.
Well, if you do, I just want you to know you got many fans in the Northwest corner, but you and I have known each other a long time, and I'd be right there doing whatever I could to help you out, Clint, because you're a great guy. You're a leader in the Democratic Party. You're the answer to the woes of the Democratic Party, and I'm a friend and a fan. So please, if you do, I want to be part of it.
Well, no, I appreciate that, Mayor. I always say that, I'm a traditional John Kennedy Democrat, asking not what your country can do for you, but what you can do for your country. And in the mayor's term, it's for community. I am a guy of faith, but I'm not going to beat you over the head with a Bible, right? We're going to act. We're like Jimmy Carter did all those years, right? Probably the strongest Christian man ever to be in the White House, Jimmy Carter, and look what he did post-presidential years for all those things. And I don't remember the exact quote, but it's one of my favorite quotes. He says, my faith tells me I'm going to do what I can, whatever I can, as much as I can, for as long as I can, with whatever resources I have. And that's kind of what that's the way the household I was brought up in. My grandpa was kind of a Republican, and my great grandpa Republican mayor, but my grandmother was the daughter of a union coal miner back in the Depression days, where you literally went to work here in southern Indiana in the coal mines. And there's a chance you weren't coming home that day. So
you certainly
definitely have
that,
values
Mayor
on
Clint.
both sides. Unfortunately, society says, well, those are fence sitters. We're not fence sitters. I think there's many people that feel like I do, right? We're just kind of like we're afraid to go to the right. We're afraid to go to the left. And we're kind of caught in the middle, like we just want to govern. Right, we just want to lead. We just want to take care of people, and I don't really care about any of the nonsense.
All right, Mayor. Well, listen, we got to roll. And all those comments are great, and that's why we love having you on LockPod. We've had you on the porch twice. Now we get you on Skype. I just hope we get to see you at the pool in French Lick and come August. You and Jamie both. So thanks for coming on. We're going to wrap it up here.
Thank you, Mayor
we appreciate
Clint.
you, Mayor Clint.
That's Mayor Clint Lamb. One more time.
For sure. Thank you guys for having me on today.
Thank
I really
you, Mayor.
appreciate it. Best of luck to you. And I'm coming back to a Cubs game this summer, so I for sure want to get with you on my way through.
I got season tickets, buddy, so call me first, okay?
Thanks, Mayor.
See you, Mayor Clint.
Okay.
That's Mayor Clint Lamb, City of Sullivan. Did a great job. John, you put that link in the chat, right?
Yep.
All right.
Yeah, we got pretty good. Not a bad audio video feed, but we had to let kind of Mayor Clint go for a little bit because we couldn't interrupt him, and it was just we had to be careful not to talk over him. So
There was like a 1 second delay. I bet you that was because of all the tornado damage, right, John?
Well, he also, was having IT issues.
Yeah,
and all that stuff.
I'm glad it worked though because he was able to hear us. And
it was a little delay, but we did fine. I couldn't look at the TV though,
Right.
because he was like way behind us. We would ask him a question, and he was like a second behind, so I was just listening to it, and not looking at the
great
TV.
though. Good to hear from Mayor Clint.
Awesome, man. Well, there you go. That's why we're Indiana's most dangerous podcast. We have great guests. We talk about controversial issues. We're live in season 9, coming back on Friday with Mayor Bill Carroll from the City of Lake Station as our guest. So it's Mayor Week. Municipal elections are a week from today. So let's get our mayor buddies on. We got a couple big races, and although Clint's not running again, he did a great job as mayor. We're gonna miss him. I'm definitely gonna miss him. So
get out and vote.
Anyway, Notorious LMP, it's great to see you back in studio, babe.
Peace out.
You sound great.
Thanks.
It's good to see you. You recovered well from your surgery. Thanks, John, for another great episode, another great segment. And we did well bringing Clint in all the way from Sullivan. So thank you. And Kevin Smith, thanks a lot. Great job.
You got it, Mayor.
Another fine performance. And then coming live from Munster, Indiana, LockPod Studio. We appreciate everybody listening. We're back on the air, season 9. We'll be back on Friday, 7:30 a.m. with Bill Carroll. Love you guys.